I don't believe in forcing myself to walk away from relationships and connections. We've talked about this. And the biggest reason why I don't believe in forcing myself to walk away from things is because it's not sustainable. When you force yourself to walk away from a connection that you're not ready to walk away from, you haven't actually healed. You're taking action just so that you have some sort of appearance to the outside world, right? Something that we've talked about over the past year on my podcast. I want to say the past year is this idea and concept of, do I want to walk away from this relationship, or do I just want to look and appear to my followers or my listeners as if I'm a woman who has self-worth? And do I not have self-worth if I stay in this connection, if I continue to have a willingness for hope in this relationship with this man, right? During those moments when I'm like, okay, I'm done, but I'm not really done, I just want to look and appear a certain way, it's not permanent and it doesn't stick. And then there's that back and forth moment, which I really do not like a back and forth moment. I would rather just be in it. I would rather just ride until the fucking wheels fall off, which is what I've really been trying to do. I'm also just authentic. My name is Natalie Hughes. I'm a life mindset and manifestation coach. And you're listening to the Naked and Noisy podcast, Manifestation Tools for the Professional Woman. My job is to be honest about what's alive within me. I've created this podcast with the intention of being honest about what's alive within me. And so as you listen throughout the year, or you come back and you find the podcast, the episode listens and all of that good stuff are going up a lot lately. Hello to all of our new listeners. So you might be listening back through episodes, but as you listen throughout the seasons, as you listen throughout the years, you're really watching me and observing me and listening to me as I grow and expand as a business owner and a grown woman, as a leader of her own mind and the co-creator of her reality. So I believe in that authenticity. And the first thing that I really want to say is I don't believe in embarrassment and I don't believe in regret. And I astrologically have Venus in Aries. I am somebody who is willing to do things that might appear very embarrassing to other people because I am not the kind of woman who lives with regret. I've jokingly spoken about this in previous podcast episodes, how there's an abundance of men from my past who just are addicted to stalking me on social media. What else can we say? And although I believe that that's happening for a multitude of reasons, one of the reasons why I believe that that's happening is because they're cowards and they don't take risks. They don't do the embarrassing thing. They don't try. And so they live a life of regrets. I firmly believe that the what ifs will consume you. I am not somebody who is willing to live a life of regret. I'm not somebody who is willing to live a life of, what if I had followed my heart? What if I had done that thing? What if I had sent that message? What if I had reached out to that person? What if I had asked them out on a date? What if I had blah, 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 blah? I don't do that. I show up, I take action, I take risks. I am going to put every ounce of my being into this soulmate relationship and connection until there is absolutely nothing left. I treat my romantic relationships like Grey's Anatomy. I mean, they probably do this in real hospitals, but you know those scenes in Grey's Anatomy where there's a patient and the patient is like coding and like their heart like has stopped beating and they're doing the fucking, is it CPR? That's CPR, right? No. Is CPR? No, that's the Heimlich. The Heimlich is when you're choking. CPR is to get the heart rate going, right? Whatever. They're doing the thing. They're like pumping the chest. And they're pumping the chest and they're pumping the chest. And another doctor is like, we got to call it. And that one doctor is like, no, I am not going to call it. I am not going to lose this fucking patient. I am not going to give up on this. Like, I'm going to keep fucking going. And then they just go. And then it gets to a point where it's like, okay, we've got to fucking call it. I believe in that. And I don't care if you don't believe in that, because what these I have so much self-worth fake ass bitches on the internet aren't telling you is that they're so busy creating a life focused on trying not to look like a stupid dumb woman and a dumb fucking bitch. I literally, 2.5 seconds, I literally saw a TikTok that was just like, I hate getting on the internet and seeing videos about a woman saying that she forgave a guy, because every single time a woman says this and this and this, I think to myself, you're a stupid fucking bitch. And I'm like, whoa, I saw that video and I was like, I'm sorry, but that's kind of wild. You literally don't know her. And you have so much hatred towards her for a choice and decision that she's making in her own life. You're judging her and you're saying that she's unintelligent because of her willingness to forgive and her willingness to try. I'm sorry. If we don't have dreamers, we don't have anything. Hi, it's Pisces season. My birthday is coming up, y'all. Girl, it's your birthday in here tonight. It's my birthday month. I'm feeling fucking good, y'all. I'm really feeling good. I believe in love and I believe in hope. And Pisces is this unconditionally hopeful energy. It's Jupiterian traditionally. Pisces, the sign, is traditionally ruled by the planet of Jupiter. Jupiter is luck. Jupiterian people are the kind of people where it's like, why does amazing shit keep happening for you? Why are you always so lucky? Why are you always in the right place at the right time? Why are you always getting this and getting that? And it's because Jupiterians are optimistic. I can have a terrible, shitty childhood fucking experience, and I can, because I'm a Pisces sun, have a willingness to believe that there might be some good out there for me, and I can have a willingness to believe that I might be able to have a good fucking life. And then I can, with that Jupiterian optimism and that willingness to keep going and that willingness to believe that good things are possible, I can learn business and I can learn marketing, and I can take something that started as a YouTube channel where I was doing pick a card readings, and I can turn it into a global brand where I am selling courses for hundreds and thousands of dollars. First time I created and sold a course, I didn't get any sales. Then when I started creating new courses, I did miniature courses and I started selling them for $7. My biggest courses are $2,000 today. And it's not just about changing the price on your website. It's about the stories I have begun to tell about who I am and my value. People with my childhood experience don't feel this way about themselves. People who have experiences like me, girls who have childhood experiences like me, girls who are spoken to and treated the way that I have been treated throughout my life, do not believe in themselves. They don't believe that they get to have goodness. They don't expect good things. They expect hatred. They expect to be put down. They expect criticism. They expect that when they go out in the world, people will put them down and talk shit about them and hurt them. I don't have that experience in the world, and I don't have those expectations. Jay-Z has a verse in the song God Did. And he says, odds wasn't great, we'd even be alive. It's gotta be crazy to y'all, nigga. We surprised. The shit doesn't even feel real to us. You can't convince me that God isn't real. You can't convince me that God doesn't have my back. You can't convince me that my ancestors aren't real. You can't convince me that my ancestors aren't moving for me, because I shouldn't be where I am in my career. I should not be alive on planet Earth. When I say that I have hit rock bottom, I mean I have hit the worst rock bottoms imaginable. There was a time in my life where things looked and felt so bleak for me. I did not want to be alive. I was a preteen, a teenager. And it wasn't just a phase thing. This is what all of your friends are doing. This is the popular thing that people are talking about. No. I had no hope. I felt worthless. I felt like a failure. I felt ugly. I felt rejectable. I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like I would never be good enough. I felt like I would never be able to create success. I felt like everyone hated me. I hated myself. I didn't like myself. I didn't like my body. I didn't feel beautiful. I have done a complete and total fucking 180. There's a musical, Alexander Hamilton, one of the songs he says, I never thought I'd live past 20. Where I come from, some get half as many. There are times when I sing along to that song and I have to burst out into tears because it's real for me. And when I think about my future and I think about the life that I'm creating now, all I see is hope. All I see is power. All I see is freedom for myself and for my family and for my motherfucking people. All I see is victory. And logically, I shouldn't. Statistically, I shouldn't. I'm a motherfucking Pisces. This is what we do. And you're gonna put some respect on our motherfucking name. Being a Pisces is about being willing to not just have unconditional love, but being willing to have unconditional hope. I believe in that shit. And I do my big one. Thank you. They're saying I've built an empire. That's what they're saying. I didn't tell them to say that. They were talking shit to me in the emails, but they said it. I do soulmate relationships the way that I do everything else. We've talked in a podcast episode years ago, probably, about the power of the pivot. What do you do when you're flying an airplane and you don't know if you're going in the wrong direction? You pick a direction and you go as fast as you can. That way, you either get to your destination quicker or you realize you're going in the wrong direction and you can turn your ass around. I believe in identifying my desires, moving forward full steam ahead. And then from that place, I can realize and I can understand, wait a damn minute. We might be going in the wrong direction. I feel that we should turn around. I feel that maybe we should turn around. I like this game. I like being this woman. I like my intuition. I like who I am. My entire perception of this soulmate connection that I've had with this man has been completely rearranged in the last 24 fucking hours, y'all. Rearranged in a way that makes me feel vindicated. Where do I want to go with this? I want to tell you a story about what happened. How it impacted my decision to leave, and also my beliefs about karma after the fact, which I know there are people who are like, I don't like the idea and concept of karma because it's been westernized and it's not really, you know, so whatever. We're going to maybe talk about karma in the fake sense, but we're going to talk about it. What happened, why it really influenced me to leave the connection. It was like a final straw moment for me after everything that's gone on. Because it literally was just like, oh my God, I see clearly. Oh my God, I see clearly. There was so much confusion. There was so much going back and forth. I see clearly. Thank you, God. That's all I needed. That's all I fucking needed. Let's go. Let's pack it up. And what are my beliefs about karma? A man did a really shitty thing. What do I believe and what do I expect to happen to him afterwards? And why? I don't think it's crazy for my answer to be nothing. Not that I don't expect something negative to happen to him, but I don't want or have the desire for something negative to happen to him. Okay, let's get into it really quick. 2.5, I feel neutral. I feel that that man is no longer my concern, which is very unfortunate for him, because men who do silly, shady shit, they're actually, okay, to be a criminal, I don't know anything about being a criminal, but what I believe, what I've observed about being a criminal is if I was going to be a criminal, there would be certain people within community and within the world that I would always want to have a good relationship with. And if I was going to be a criminal, I would always want to have a good, magical woman by my side and on my side. Because if I'm a man who doesn't have integrity as he's operating out in the world, that really puts me in a very vulnerable position. And when I have connection and relationship with spiritual women, that also brings me protection from harm. Because when you're a spiritual woman, what do you do for the people that you love? You pray over them. You do workings for them on their behalf. You support them. You show up for them. So that's my 2.5. Well, maybe we won't talk more about that exactly, but we'll get into my thoughts and ideas about karma and how I feel with the whole neutrality thing. It's like, his life is his life, and it's not really any of my business anymore. And I don't really give a damn, you know? And if that's a good thing or that's a bad thing, well, only time will tell. It won't tell me because I won't have an awareness of it, because I'll never look him up again. He is officially dead to me. But, it is what it is. Let's talk about what happened. So, a couple of days ago, I want to say this happened, maybe like last week. It was like a couple of days ago or last week. I woke up from a dream. I woke up from my sleep. I don't remember what the dream was. I just woke up from my sleep. And the minute that I woke up, I got a notification on my phone from Facebook that said, friend suggestion, someone you may know. And it was this man, the man that we've been talking about forever, the guy from the holiday Hoobly Wuddy. For those of you that don't know, I saw a picture of him online. He was at a Thanksgiving holiday celebration with another woman. I said, oh my God, I had no idea this was going on. Then I was like, wait a second, this must be new. The reason why I thought it must be new was because I looked at the fucking picture. It looks like two friends. Looks like let's not discuss it. Thought that it was obviously new, thought that it was obviously two people that don't know each other, two people that obviously don't have much intimacy between each other. Am I talking about sexual intimacy? No, I'm not naive. I'm just talking about emotional intimacy. I'm just talking about closeness. It's an awkward ass fucking photo. The smiles are fake and those two look fucking plastered. You know what I'm saying? But anyway. Oh, do I have thoughts about the photo? I do have thoughts about the photo. I have many observations about the photo. I learned so much from looking at one motherfucking photo. I love being psychic and I love being a Scorpio, and we'll maybe talk more about that in a little bit. So anyway, that's what happened. There's the update. This guy who I have been in kind of like a soulmate situationship thing with, where I was under the intention that we were kind of making our way back towards one another, and that doesn't appear to be what he was doing, right? Hence, you're at a Thanksgiving dinner with your cousins and you're with a woman who I don't know and I didn't know she existed. I thought that she was random. I thought that she was like in the in like the Grammys or the awards ceremonies, when you have, that random seat that you don't want to be empty, and so you have the fillers there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to be mean. We've already talked about it in the previous podcast episode. So go listen to all of my episodes ever if you want all of the different aspects of the tea, because I feel that every time we talk about it from a different angle, and that's how my mind works, right? So anyway, yeah, that guy. So I was holding one perception of this relationship and this soulmate connection. There was actually a completely different reality that was happening simultaneously that I was not aware of. And had I been aware of the completely different reality that was happening simultaneously, I would have made many different choices. I believe that this man knows that I would have made many different choices. Anyway, so let's talk about what happened recently. Like last week, I wake up from my sleep and I see a notification, and it's like people you may know on Facebook, and it's the guy from the holiday Hoobly Wuddy, right? And I'm like, this is really interesting. Of course, I'm not going to add him as a friend on Facebook. Facebook sends me his profile notification very frequently. It's not a profile that I'll be visiting or, different things like that. It just ping, notification, somebody you may know. Okay. And not even an hour later, like it was very close to an hour mark. I want to say it was like 56 minutes later, right? Very close to that hour mark, I get a notification from Facebook, and it says, people you may know, friend suggestion. And this is very weird to me because I don't get a lot of those Facebook friend suggestion notifications. I do not get a lot of Facebook push friendship notifications, like at all. When I say I don't get a lot, I mean this week, I don't think that I've gotten any push notifications of people you may know on Facebook, like my phone lighting up with that notification. I don't know that I had gotten that notification in the month prior. You know what I'm saying? Like, It does not happen frequently. So I get 2 notifications from Facebook of people that you may know. The first is the guy from the holiday Hoobly Wuddy. And the second, are you thinking that it was going to be the girl? Oh my God, that would have been so juicy. No, it wasn't the girl. It wasn't the girl, yo. It wasn't the girl. But oh my God, just as I was telling the story, I was like, oh my God, bitch, what if it was the girl? Woman. She's a woman. We're women. But anyway, no, it wasn't the woman. Um, it was the guy from the holiday Hoobly Wuddy's best friend, or one of his best friends. We'll just call him his best friend, okay? So first, I get a notification for one guy, then I get a notification for the second guy. I'm like, that's weird. That's really fucking suspicious. And then I start to get the feeling like I'm being watched, like my profile is being observed, which is kind of embarrassing because it's my Facebook. I have stuff there from like 100 million years ago, you know? But anyway, I'm like, who really cares? Who really gives a damn? Now, why is this relevant? I don't know what happened after I got those notifications. I just remember feeling like I don't believe that that's a coincidence. I feel like there's something that's going on. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like there's something that's going on, and I feel that it involves the two of them, and that's the most relevant part of that. And then something else happened. I was thinking kind of about the friend, not in a romantic sense, but I was thinking kind of about the friend. And I've never liked this friend. Nath Hughes, didn't you tell us in the story time of how you even discovered who this guy was? You found out who he was through his best friend's Instagram? Yes. Is this the same best friend? Yes. From the beginning of me having an awareness of this man, the man from the subway, the man from the holiday Hoobly Wuddy, oh, let's just use initials. What the fuck? What am I even doing? M. Duh. That's his name. So, oh my God, this is so fucking mess. I actually have just decided I don't give a damn who hears this. So anyway, so there's M, and then his very best close friend's name is W, right? You following me? So from the minute that I discovered and learned who M was, it happened because M was featured on W's Instagram feed. Also, saying their names like that, isn't that kind of fucking weird and like Siamese twinsy that one's name is M? You flip it around, wicked witch. M. Flip it around, wicked. Anyway, so I've had a like kind of basic awareness of W, not in the same awareness that I've had of M. Like, I don't know W's life story or whatever. Obviously, we went to high school together. That's where it starts and stops. I don't really give a damn. But I did know intuitively about W that I didn't really like him because of some things that I could sense about their relationship dynamic and how their relationship dynamic negatively impacts M's self-esteem. I just knew that right off the bat. And so I really wasn't a fan of W, but it was one of those things where it was like, oh, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to touch that. I don't want to touch that because, you know, this is my very best friend. This is my very close friend. This is somebody that I want to have in my life for a really long time. I'm not really, it's already a delicate situation, men and relationships and distrust. And of course, M is a Scorpio. So, you know, I'm sorry if you don't know, let me explain. Scorpios are very serious about betrayal, which is so fucking interesting. You know, Scorpios can be so fucking hypocritical. So fucking hypocritical. Because it's cool when you do it, but it's a problem when everybody else does it. The big L. Scorpios care so much about that big L, not losing, but loyalty, 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 loyalty. If you know for a fact that if I did what you did, you would lose your fucking mind, which I would never do because I'm a real nigga. Hello, write that down. Write that down. Let the record reflect. N, me, Matthews, is a real nigga. M, you come to your own conclusion. Use the context clues. They not like us. I literally saw so many pictures of him. I'm like, I do not even recognize this man. I'm like, oh, hi, fake ass nigga. I see you got your fake ass nigga outfit on like you always do. Anyway, focus, refocus, divas. We must stay focused. Real niggas in the chat. We must lock in for this story. We already got 30 minutes. Okay. We're going. So, anyway, I already didn't like W. So the concept and idea of W looking at my Facebook profile, it just made me uncomfortable. The idea of him looking at my profile, it just made me uncomfortable. I don't want to talk about it. I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to think about it, but I'm just like, oh, if this, I'm not saying that it has to be a reflection that my profile was being viewed, but if this was a reflection of my profile being viewed, I would love for M to have a conversation with me about anybody else in the world except for W. I feel like that would be the worst thing that he could ever possibly fucking do. I'm not saying whether or not I think that he did that. I have no idea. I'm not really sure. I just didn't like the concept of it happening. It made me feel uneasy. So anyway, that happens. That's a moment. Then, a couple of days later, I have a dream. And no, I don't mean the I have a dream thing like Dr. Martin Luther King, who has Mercury in Pisces. Yes, he does. I think he has Mercury in Pisces, and I think he has a Pisces moon. He has like 2 Pisces placements. This I know for sure. Anyway, obviously, he's a big fucking dreamer. Anyway. I feel like I didn't finish that thought earlier. The thought earlier that I was trying to say was you have to be willing to dream beautiful things even when your reality looks like the complete opposite in order to achieve your dreams. The people who achieve greatness are the people who are willing to believe in that greatness. And because I'm somebody who's willing to be optimistic and I'm willing to believe in greatness and I'm willing to have faith, I get opportunities, I get growth, I get expansion, I get money, I get resources, I get my fucking dreams every single time. Period. There's nothing you could do and there's nothing you could say that could ever make a bitch like me stop believing, because I am my first and most important testimony. Amen? Okay. So anyway, a couple of days later, I have a dream. And in this dream, I'm in New York City. And M and I are like together, I guess. We're together, but we're not together in an official relationship, but we're together, and we're together enough that we're taking a trip, not to Miami. So anyway, that's a good joke, ain't it? Get the fuck out my face. Ain't shit funny right now. I could tear down the fucking building. I love that video. Anyway, focus. We're focused. Diva, I'm focused. I'm telling the story. I had a dream. So I had a dream. We were in New York City. We were like together, but we weren't together in an official capacity. But we were taking a trip to Ireland. And on our way to get to the airport, we were taking the subway to get to the airport. And so we're on the subway, or we're like getting ready to get on the subway, and he gets onto like a subway before I can get onto the subway. So basically we just get separated. He has my bag. He's carrying my bag. He gets into the subway car and the door's closed. By he, I'm talking about M, of course. When I'm talking about W, it will be very brief and I will always mention that. So for all intents and purposes, you can just assume that whenever I'm saying he, I'm probably talking about M, right? So M gets on a subway and into a subway car, and basically the door's closed before I can get on it. And I'm like, damn, I can't get on the subway. I'm missing the subway. I'm like, whatever, that's fine. I'm just going to catch the next car and then I'll meet him at the airport. But he has my bag and like all of my shit is in my bag, of course. And I literally think like even my cell phone was in my bag. Like he had everything on him in the subway car and like the doors closed, whatever. I just was going to catch the next one. And as I'm heading to the like car and I'm heading towards the airport, it dawns on me, oh my God, wait, I don't have a passport. I don't have a passport. I can't get on a plane. We're getting on a plane to go to Ireland and I don't have a passport. I don't have a passport. We're at the airport. How can I get a passport? I can't get a passport right now. Oh my God. I have to tell him like I have to catch up to him, and then also I have to tell him I don't have my fucking passport. We can't get on this plane, or I can't get on this plane, right? And so the dream is basically me on this fucking adventure trying to get to M and meet him at the gate of the airport for like our tickets. And so the dream ends up being me like on like I'm like traveling on this like plane and I like make it to the airport and then I'm like getting to the airport and then I see one of my friends who is my friend in real life. We go to the same gym and so I like see my friend there, but in the dream my friend works at the airport, so I'm like, you have to help me, like I'm trying to get to M and I don't have my bags and blah 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 blah. And so my friend is like helping me and she's like taking me through like the fucking back rooms of the airport and shit. And then I'm like around like the airport employees and stuff because like we're like in like the back, you know what I mean? Like behind, like no people are there. It's like employee back rooms, whatever, of the airport. And so we get to a place and I'm like talking with like other women and I'm telling them I don't have my passport and they're like giving me advice. They're like, oh, you're not going to be able to fly without a passport, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm like, okay, I just have to get to M and I just have to tell him like, I'm so sorry. I don't have my passport. Like I can't get on this flight. And I'm so sad. Like, I'm so disappointed. I feel so embarrassed. Like, please don't be mad at me. I don't have my passport. Like, I can't go. And, God, just me telling this out loud, to you guys in this podcast episode, I'm like, there's so much fucking symbolism in this shit, bitch. Like, oh my God. But anyway, so we're like in the back rooms of the airport and like talking to the employees and different stuff like that. I kind of get separated from my friend and there's like a manager of the airport or whatever. And so she sees me, she's like, you don't belong here. Like, you're not supposed to be here. Like, this is just for like airport employees. And I'm like, yes, like, I'm so sorry. And then I start crying and I'm like, I don't know if I describe him as like my boyfriend or what, but I'm just like, there's this man and he has my bag and like we're supposed to be going to Ireland together, but I don't have my passport and I just have to find him and like I'm just trying to get to him and I am just trying to like catch up with him and like meet him like in the place that I'm supposed to go. And this woman, she does this thing where I don't know how to describe it, and it's not something that happens on purpose, but it's something that's happened to me a couple of times, usually with men who are potentially going to put me in a dangerous situation. They'll be doing something and then they'll stop in the middle of what they're doing, whether it's they're going to ask me more questions or they're going to keep yelling at me or they're going to like advance an altercation with me. They'll stop doing whatever they're doing and then their face will go blank like they're a fucking zombie, and then they'll just turn around and they'll walk away. So this is something that's happened to me in my real life about 2 times, but it's enough to notice. It's really weird and it's always magical, like a moment that feels like divine protection for me because it's never logical and it doesn't make any sense at all. But anyway, so this woman kind of does that. Like I'm telling her my story, I'm like crying, and then her face kind of like changes. Like her face kind of like goes into that neutral. And then she says, I feel like I need to help you. And so then she's like, okay, I'm going to escort you through the airport. And so I go from having this woman who's going to like throw me in jail for like being in the back rooms of the airport to having this woman who is now escorting me throughout the airport. So now instead of sneaking around and all of this stuff, I'm having her take me exactly to where M is. She takes me to another subway platform. And then in the subway platform, I finally see M, and the woman is walking in front of me. She's like walking in front of me down these steps onto the subway platform. And she's like, oh, like you must be M. Like, we're looking for this guy whose name is M. Like, you must be M. And so I'm coming down the stairs and I'm like seeing him. And I'm like, yes, like this is him. And I like feel relief. And I'm like, okay, like I basically am gonna have to like tell him this thing. But as I'm turning around the corner, I see him and he's surrounded by a group of people. He's surrounded by a group of strangers and they're kind of all going through my bag. But I know immediately that they're trying to find me. It's like M has gone to the place, the designated place where he was supposed to be, like where I would know to find him. And he's talking with other people, and there's kind of like a crowd of people there, and they're very concerned. And they're like looking through my bag for clues. I don't know why the fuck they're looking through my bag, bitch. I remember even in my dream being like, why the fuck are these motherfuckers looking through my bag? But I knew immediately they were looking for me, and M had asked them to basically help find me, right? So they're looking for me, and then I walk around the crowd to like a different side of the bench. I'm not directly in front of him, but I'm kind of like diagonally towards him. And he turns to look at me, and the look on his face is like, I don't know. The look on his face is like surprise. The look on his face is like shock. Um, and he doesn't say anything to me. So M is there, and then W is there. W is sitting at the end of the bench, and he's not like, there's no people around him. There's no crowd around him. W looks at me, and M doesn't speak to me. I haven't said anything to M. Like, we're just looking at each other. I see W. W turns and looks at me and says, "You are too loved." And I can't repeat the way that he said it to me, but he did not say it to me like, oh my God, girl, look at all of these people helping you. You're so loved. He said it to me in a way that felt threatening. He said it to me in a way that felt like, it felt like there was like spite. Like, it felt like this W guy, he was not fucking with me at all. Like, really hard. And so he says, "You are too loved." But I don't even know how to mimic that. I don't even know how to mimic the tone and the cadence of it. It literally scared me. It literally terrified me. I'm spending the entire dream freaking out, stressed out, trying to get to M. Then I see M. W is there. W says to me, "You are too loved." M doesn't say anything to me. I get so scared. I get so disturbed. I literally wake myself up. It was one of those moments where you have a dream. I don't often have nightmares. I usually have experiences where if there's something scary that happens in my dream and it feels like a nightmare, I'm typically like fighting back and like fucking the people up. Like, I do not have dreams where I'm scared. I do not have dreams where I'm stressed. I do not have dreams where I'm like worried. Like, that shit doesn't happen to me. And if something scary happens to me in a dream, like, I'm always fucking fighting back. Like, I'm always fucking overcoming. Like, I love waking up from like dreams that could have become nightmares, because I'm always like, yes, bitch, like the subconscious strong as fuck, like, yeah, and you beat that hoe's ass. I know that's right. Like, anyway. Like, how people are like, I have dreams and I can't run even though I want to run, and I can't, and I'm trying to punch, but the punches aren't landing. Not me. I be in the fifth dimension fucking bitches up. Punches landing every single time. Play with me if you want to. Anyway, the reason that I'm saying all of this is because it was different. I've never had a dream that I was scared. Well, not never, but it's very rare. It has not happened to me recently. I can't remember the last time I had a dream that I was like really scared in. I was so scared. I was so like disturbed that I woke myself up. It literally, like, I don't know if you've ever had that experience where you're sleeping and some fuck shit is about to go down and you're like, nah, bitch, like, I'm ready to get the fuck ASAP. Like, somebody's got to wake up. We got to get back into the third dimension because whatever the fuck is about to go down, I don't like it. I don't want to be around it. Like, I got to fucking go. So I wake up out of my sleep and I literally wake up feeling that same level of stress. I literally wake up like I'm fucking disturbed. Like I literally had to sit, I had to analyze that dream. I had to like move through a whole bunch of shit. Like it was fucking crazy. So I have that dream. Do we want to analyze that dream? We really could, but it's only a part of the story and we got to move on. So I wake up from that dream and then we're moving on. Okay. So this is maybe like a couple of days later. Maybe I had that dream like 2 days ago. And I'm sitting on the side of my house and I'm talking with my ancestors and I'm talking with my spirits. Now, I'm not just talking with my ancestors, I'm also talking with M's ancestors, which is really very interesting because I haven't had a negative relationship with them at all. Every single time I felt like walking away from the connection with M, it's always felt like, oh, like I'm so sad. Like we're not going to get to hang out anymore. Like I love you guys so much. Like I love hanging out with you guys. Like I really enjoy them and I can connect with them in a way where I can connect with my own ancestors. Not exactly the same, but in a very similar way. So anyway, I'm like talking with my ancestors and I'm like talking with M's ancestors and we're just kind of having this conversation and I'm reflecting and kind of just doing some like self-coaching and like journaling and different things like that because I haven't been doing my scripting work. I haven't been doing my mindset work, not around like money and like business and stuff like that, but specifically around the relationship. After the holiday hoobly wuddy, even though I've been like, okay, you know what? I'm going to forgive because remember, I was under the impression that this was kind of just like a rando chick. You know what I'm saying? I saw other pictures of M from different times in his life earlier on, and it was very obvious that his MO and the MO of the, you know, guys around him, I don't know if it's a fraternity thing or a football thing or a football fraternity thing, but, you know, they very obviously participate in this experience of I'm going to go to an event and I'm going to have a girl there and that girl is going to be so pretty and, you know, it's giving me social currency and different things like that. And so I thought that this woman had been there because of those old ways. I thought that he had had a moment. I thought that he had had like a relapse into an old way of being. Like, oh, this is just Rumspringa. Like I was saying, like this is just his inner child, his inner 19-year-old self. He got triggered because we're moving closer into the, you know, relationship and connection and he's getting older and he's reverting back to these old ways, you know what I mean? And so I thought to myself like, okay, it feels like this is possibly going to be a one-time thing. On an energetic level, it feels like M is going through a lot of fucking emotions and there's a lot of fucking regret about the holiday hoobly wuddy for various things, but on top of the other reasons why he would feel internal conflict about the holiday hoobly wuddy. On top of that, or in addition to that, whatever, there's me and me finding out about the holiday hoobly wuddy and my reaction to the holiday hoobly wuddy and just everything that's been going on. It just felt like his energy was very off. And it even felt that way in the dream. Like the way that he was looking at me, it's kind of like weird. Like from the perspective of what I know now, I might say it looked like he had been caught doing something. Okay. But at the time, he just looked shocked to me. Like when I had the dream, when I woke up from the dream, whatever. So what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? Where am I going with this? where am I going with this? Where am I going with this? Where am I going? Where am I in the story? I have the dream. I wake up from the dream. I analyze the dream. The next day, I'm talking with my ancestors. I'm doing my own reflection. And I'm realizing that after the holiday Hubli Wedi, I have not been really tapping into the energy of a relationship or a connection or a commitment with him. I mean, it totally fucking spooked me. Like, the fucking who did I marry series of like, whoa, 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 whoa. I thought that we were on a train. I thought the train was going. I'm like, fuck it, let's go, full steam ahead. Now I'm questioning your integrity. I'm questioning your character. What's going on? And then I'm starting to kind of get back into that energy of like, okay, like maybe it was just a moment, an opportunity for him to reflect on some stuff, an opportunity for me to heal some stuff around infidelity and different things like that, and getting even stronger around what I desire and different things like that. And I really was like, I can move past this because I don't really care about sex. And I know we've talked about me and we've talked about my relationship with sex and saving myself for marriage and different things like that, but I understand an orgasm is an orgasm. I understand sometimes having sexual relationships with people when you feel insecure about who you are and you need that external validation and that ego boost and that constant need. You know, it's like that bottomless pit of validate me, tell me that I'm everything, beg for me, beg for my approval so that I can feel good enough and I can feel strong and blah, 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 blah. Like, I get it and I understand it. I don't think that it makes you a bad person or it makes you evil or it makes you unworthy of love, right? In the podcast episodes, I'm pretty sure that we've talked about this, where it's like, is he a narcissistic son of a bitch or is he emotionally immature? That was the question. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What's going on? We're weighing our options. We're looking at the evidence that we have. We're taking into account how we feel emotionally. We're taking into account the relationship that we have with his ancestors, right? Girl. So I'm sitting and I'm talking, I'm reflecting. And I'm like, I haven't been able to journal. I haven't been able to tap into the energy of that relationship and connection with him. And I'm like, why not? So I'm doing that investigation, like what's going on? Because we've got to be journaling. We don't want to be in this energy for long. I don't want to be in this energy of being angry for long just because I don't enjoy being angry and resentful and all of these things. And also, I'm still co-creating my reality. I am not going to focus on this so much and not process my emotions that I end up continuing to be or becoming a vibrational match for more fuck shit like this. We need to deal with the third party and the weird shit right here and right now because this will not continue in my fucking reality. Okay? Am or not. This is not something that I want to solidify in my vibration. So we're going to process our feelings and our emotions and then we're going to move on. It's onward and upward. If we're moving on with M, then we're moving on with M. It's onward and upward. We're not going to keep bringing it up. We're not going to keep hashing out the past. Like, we're going to fucking move forward. I believe if I'm going to forgive, I'm going to release, I'm going to let the past go. We're going to forgive, we're going to release, we're going to let the past go. That doesn't mean that I don't believe in accountability. Of course, there has to be real, genuine, authentic change. And so a part of we don't even have to go there. That's all that we need to talk about. There has to be real, genuine, authentic change. So I'm sitting on the side of the house, we're reflecting, I'm going within myself, and I'm like, the reason why I haven't been doing my scripting and just tapping into the energy of the relationship that I want with him is because I don't want to. Like, there was a part of me, like, something, like, came forward, like, in my body. Like, I was just like, I don't fucking want to. There's a part of me that doesn't want this at all. There's a part of me that doesn't want to tap into the energy of a relationship with this man. There's a part of me that doesn't want this man to be in my life. There's a part of me that does not want to move forward. I do not want to. And consciously, I wasn't even really aware of this part. Like, yes, of course, I'm going back and forth and I'm listening to Resentment by Beyonce when I need to and I'm feeling my emotions and different things like that. But in my mind's eye, power of the pivot. We're choosing a direction. We're moving forward. All right, we're going to move forward with M. We're moving forward with M. And so I kind of felt surprised that this part of me comes through so strongly and is like, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to journal. I don't want to connect with this energy. I don't want to see myself in a relationship with him. Like, I do not want to be connected to him at all. I do not want this. And I'm like, okay, wow. And so I start going into that, and I start like just talking with myself to understand myself, because again, there's no forcing myself to walk away from a relationship. There's also no forcing myself to stay in a relationship. All of the different parts of myself, how I feel, and the complexity of my emotions is something that I love, honor, and accept, and I have a willingness to explore that always unconditionally. So there's never an experience where I feel something and I say, nope, I'm not going to acknowledge that, we're onward and upward. Hell no, I wouldn't do that. That would come back to bite me in the fucking ass, right? Because that part of me, even if I were to consciously ignore it, that part of me would create sabotage, right? And it has been creating sabotage because I haven't been showing up and I haven't been doing that energetic work to move things forward, and align with the relationship that I desire while keeping him in mind. I haven't been aligning with any romantic relationships. So I'm reflecting and I'm coming into awareness of that part of myself. And then I'm also talking with the ancestors, and I'm just kind of like, okay, like, what do you guys think? Like, what's your perspective? What's going on? And then the whole thing with W comes up again, where we're now having a conversation about M, we're having a conversation about W, we're having a conversation about character, we're having a conversation about intention. My problem with W is that I don't trust him. My problem with W is that I look at him and I see someone who is an opportunist. I look at him and I see somebody who is slimy. I look at him and I see somebody who is grimy. I look at him and I see somebody who is not trustworthy. I didn't want to acknowledge this, but it's something that I felt for a very long time. It hasn't been a super relevant thing because I don't think about W frequently and he doesn't come up frequently and all of this other stuff, but it's something that I think, and it's something that I have suspected, but I haven't really acknowledged, I haven't really voiced, I haven't really looked at. It had to be looked at a couple of nights ago because now, after finding out about the holiday Hubli Wadi, I am seriously questioning M and who M is as a man, who M is as a person. I understand operating out of childhood wounds. I understand being a human being. I understand making a mistake. Lord knows I have done things and then been like, oop, I don't like that you said that, or I don't like that you did that, or I don't like that you posted that, or I don't like that you responded and reacted in that way. I have moments like that. So I'm not somebody who really typically will judge people off of their mistakes. I have a willingness to forgive, and I have a willingness to see the best in people, and I have a hopefulness. I do it for myself. I'm going to have to do it for the people in the communities that I want to serve. My calling is to be a huge thorn in the side of white supremacist delusion. My purpose, a part of my purpose, is to powerfully support dismantling the school to prison pipeline system, and if I'm going to dismantle the school to prison pipeline system and I'm going to support the public school socioeconomic equity, in education, if I'm going to do that, I need to have a capacity to see the quote unquote worst students, the students with the most behavioral issues, challenges, and conflicts. I have to be able to see the best in those students. Of course, those students are disproportionately Black babies. You know what I'm saying? So I have to have the capacity to see good in people, even when other people would see wrong and other people would see bad. It's a huge part of my purpose. And so I'm looking at M and I'm understanding, okay, my desire to see the best in people, my desire to see potential, my desire to see what I believe to be alive within him on a soul level. And also, okay, what's going on consciously? Where is he really at? Not just when it comes to me. It's almost as if I feel like I existed for M inside of a bubble. My relationship with M existed inside of a bubble. M is fucking Hannah Montana, okay? He's living a double life. There's an experience and a connection where M can come into my world, whether that's listening to my podcast and connecting with me, and connect with me over social media and different things like that, connect with me energetically, connect with me in the dream space. There's our soulmate connection that we have. And then there's like M in his waking life, which is so funny, but like there's M in his everyday life. There's M who he is in career and like different things like that. And I don't know if I'm explaining that verbally in a way that makes sense, but there's two different sides. There's two different versions of M. And I am typically interacting with or thinking of one version of M, the version of M who has been deeply wounded by, X, Y, Z different things in his past with his dad and, his family and, different things like that, and his relationship with himself and his self-esteem and all of this stuff. And, the terrible, horrible life experiences of a black man and, being black and growing up in suburbia and the internalized anti-blackness and, all of this stuff. And so I'm looking at him and I'm perceiving him through this lens of this is a man who's got some wounds and some pain and of course some ego and some pride and different things like that. But I can see the growth and I can see the expansion and I can see the healing and I can see the potential and I can see where he's going. And I have genuinely and authentically been feeling and sensing him growing and expanding and like all of these other different things, which feels so powerful and like feels so good. And then it's like, I didn't even think about, oh my God, you're living this completely other life that I just have no idea about. For example, on M's Facebook, on his profile, he's single. On Instagram, is that what's happening? Question mark, appears that he's not single. Did I know this? No, because I didn't see this. There are things that were hidden for very beautiful, meticulous. It's like, you really do have to applaud his work. The Scorpio man, my problem was that I underestimated him, and that was my bad. His mind and his capacity to hide, to be manipulative and controlling, he really does need a medal for that shit. But anyway, so I was not aware of things until the holiday Hubliwadi, which was a very crazy day, not just for me, but also for M, who, as a consequence of the holiday Hubliwadi, information about him that he does not want being out there in the world publicly, in response to that, he like fucking retaliates in a million different ways. Not in a way that I feel is against me, but across his social media, there's a fucking crackdown. Privacy settings increased. We don't even have time to talk about it. And this is not things that I have observed because I'm going out of my way to look him up. Like, we don't even have time to talk about it. We don't even have time. We don't have time. This is already an hour long. Fuck. So anyway, we're just going to count this. This is going to be the episode for Monday and Thursday of this week. You're only going to get one episode this week. Okay? Fuck it. So where am I in this story? I'm having a conversation outside. I'm reflecting. There's a part of me that doesn't want to move forward on this at all. I'm not trusting him. Of course, I am now just analyzing the things that I know and the things that I understand. Because I'm going, whoa, I thought that M was single. I thought that M was so single. I mean, of course, I'm a psychic medium. That doesn't mean that I know everything. I have not all the time gotten readings from other people. When I have gotten readings from other people, nobody is like, hey, do you see this other person here? And I talked about this in one of the other episodes where it's like, at some point it was getting like really weird, where it was like, this person's comparing you to other people and this person's comparing you to other people and this person, and I'm like, okay, like that's really weird, but like, okay. And I thought that he was dating around multiple people. That's questionable, actually. I've many theories, none confirmed, so let's not even go into that. Let's not get conspiratorial. So, okay. What happens? I'm having a conversation. It ends up turning into a conversation. about W and M and integrity. And I'm sitting and having a conversation and I'm kind of like spilling tea. It turns into a little bit of light gossip, just a little bit of hot goss between me and the ancestors. And I say, can I say something about W? And we just keep this between divas because I don't really want to say it out loud. And it's not something that I ever would really plan to bring to M. Like, I just, can I just say something? And of course, I say it and I'm like, I kind of feel like W was like this and like this and like this. And I kind of feel like there's an impact on M in this way and this way and this way. And I kind of feel like M was like this and like this and like this. And he's like this because of W. And he's also like this because of his dad. And that also connects with blah, 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 blah. And also his brother and da, 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 da. Like it turns into a whole fucking thing. So me and M's ancestors, it kind of turns into like a tea spilling situation where I'm like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this and this and this and this and this about W and this and this and this. And the ancestors are like, you ain't wrong, queen. And in fact, this and this and this and this and this. And I'm like, oh my God, like exactly. And that's what I told her. So we're just kind of basically having this gossiping session. And this is one of those moments where I'm like, oh my fucking God. You just either believe or you don't fucking believe. Because I actually believe in the psychic shit and I'm actually a fucking psychic medium. And I really fucking believe. And the story is about to get crazy. And not just in a me talking to dead people sense. So anyway, so we're like talking and then it turns into a thing. I don't know why, but I'm looking up on Instagram. I'm looking up something. Oh, I think I end up going to W's Facebook profile because I'm like, what the hell is W's sign? I don't know W's birthday. Of course, I know M's birthday. Oh my God, I could have found out W's birthday the same way that I found out M's birthday, but I guess I really wasn't thinking that deep about it. So I went to W's Facebook and I'm like, I wonder if his birthday is on his Facebook profile. I don't see his birthday on his profile. I don't know how to I feel like such an old person sometimes when I'm using like fucking technology or like they like change the fucking Facebook app around. Like I don't want to click a million and one different things. It's going to send a fucking friend request. Like just tell me the nigga's birthday. But anyway, so I can't find out his birthday, girl. And well, it's not on his Facebook profile. It's not obvious. And I'm like, oh, I don't really give that much of a damn. I don't really like being in W's energy at all. I don't really like him. I'm sorry, I just fucking don't. Like, ugh, he's a cute guy. I can't get over it. The energy, it reeks, okay? Energetically, it's very fucking loud. It's very fucking clear. This is not, I would not touch him with a 10-foot pole. Like, no, hard fucking pass. And then that brings me to another comment, 2.5, because birds of a feather, how do they flock? Exactly. And that's what I told her. And it was one of those things where I had seen another one of M's friends, just on the social medias and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't really like that guy. He doesn't really have good character. I don't like him. He looks too goofy. I don't mean goofy like his like facial features or something about his body. I'm talking about energetically. I don't like him. He doesn't look like he has integrity. I don't like him. He looks like he doesn't have integrity. He also looks like he's goofy. He looks like he would irritate me. I don't want to ever have a conversation with him. So I'm like looking at these guys and like one of them, I'm like, you are the Patrick Mahomes, right? We've talked about this, okay? So, and I'm not talking about Patrick Mahomes like this particular guy is a football player. I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes. We did many episodes on this. We don't have time to get into what I mean when I say Patrick Mahomes. So just go listen to the podcast. And then once you get caught up, you'll understand what I mean when I say Patrick Mahomes. When I say Patrick Mahomes, I really mean a fucking coon. Can I say that? Can I say that? It's the Negative Noisy podcast. Why the hell not? So there's been moments where I thought about one of the coon friends, but I'm like, well, I don't really see him and the coon friend hanging out very often. I'm not sure when the last outing was. There could be distance. How many people do we follow on Instagram that we knew in college that we're not still close with? Is it a birds of a feather flock together situation? Yes, it is, bitch. But at the time, I was still giving the benefit of the doubt. Mind you, that was before the holiday hoobly wuddy, okay? M has not been given the benefit of the doubt from me since the holiday hoobly wuddy because I might be hopeful, but I'm not fucking dumb. Okay? And there's a balance there. I might be hopeful, but I'm not willing to ignore the truth. I'm a Scorpio woman. I would rather receive and see a truth that's going to hurt me than receive a lie that's going to make me feel good. Okay? I want the truth. I'm not afraid of negative emotions. I'm not afraid of negative feelings. I want the truth, period, full stop. So, yes, have I suspected possibly M may not be a man of great character? Yes, but again, things were not confirmed. There were benefits of the doubt that were issued out. I don't regret that. And what ends up happening is, fast forward, I'm looking up W's Facebook to get his birthday. I don't see his birthday because I'm interested in what his sign might be because there's always insights astrologically. I'm like, I wonder what his sign might be. Anyway, so there's there's W, and then there's M, and then I'm like, I wonder if his birthday might be on his Instagram. Is W on Instagram? What is W's Instagram? And so I go on Instagram to look up W's Instagram. If I can find W's Instagram, I can't find W's Instagram. But while I'm on Instagram, I feel to look up M's Instagram. And when I look up M's Instagram, I see a whole bunch of tagged posts that were not previously there. I say, oh, this is interesting. And when I'm looking at the posts, it's posts, guess on whose Instagram? Not the woman's Instagram. No, not the woman's Instagram. The Instagram that has now been made public is his boss's Instagram, bitch. His boss's Instagram profile has now become public. There are several photos from the past couple of years. In the photos, dating all the way back, there's like 2 photos. All the way back in 2024, there is M, and then there is this other woman. I said, oh, okay. Straw, meet camel's fucking back. We are so done. We are over in a way that we've never been over before. And it literally was like, if you thought the holiday hoobly wuddy, well, no, it wasn't even, the holiday hoobly wuddy was worse. The holiday hoobly wuddy felt earth-shattering. The holiday hoobly wuddy felt like disaster. The holiday hoobly wuddy, I cried. When I saw these pictures, I felt disappointed, but not surprised. So I said, oh, okay. And of course I found the pictures because I'm asking questions that I've never asked before. I look at the picture from the holiday hoobly wuddy. You know what Nath Hughes wants to know. Investigative journalist, Scorpio queen. I want to know when the fuck this started. My hypothesis was that it would have started a couple of months, a month or 2 before, maybe around September, because I started having inklings. What if he's blah, blah, blah with somebody else? No, I'm being crazy. What if he's having sex with somebody else right now in the middle of the workday? Natalie, that's silly. It wasn't silly. The bitch was right. The bitch was right. I hate it when my Scorpio paranoia turns out to just be intuition. Fuck. So anyway, I want to know, when did this start and when did this begin? Of course, this would be something that I would ask M himself. Oh, isn't that so funny? The first conversation that we have after everything would be a series of interrogations. Literally. You went where? With who? Really? For real? That's how you feel? Asking all them questions, making statements, assuming. Immediately, first conversation, his ass would have been on trial. And he knows that. So, anyway, I'm looking at these pictures and I say, this is what you don't want me to see. This is what you've been hiding. This and this and this and this and this. Oh, and look at this event. And look at this event. Oh, right. And this was in 2024, and this happened then. And so I've been thinking that we're on one path going through one thing. I've been looking at you from a lens of compassion and understanding, giving you the benefit of the motherfucking doubt. And this entire time, perhaps, at least since the fall of 2024, you've been having your cake and eating that motherfucker too. I actually would be willing to believe that it was much further back into 2024. I actually might be willing to come to the conclusion that the Facebook profile that you changed it to, if it had been a recent picture, well, no, I don't know. It's hard to find the dates of things. It's hard to find the dates of things. Let's not even go there. Let's not even speculate. Let's look at the hardcore facts that we do have. The hardcore facts that we do have is that there was another woman. It has been the same woman. It appears that you have been in a relationship, and former relationship, perhaps a situationship, because the Facebook status has been single. The Facebook status has consistently been single. The Facebook status has not been in a relationship ever, to my fucking knowledge. Well, I don't mean ever like in the history of the Facebook status, but I mean since I've known him. I was under the impression that you were single. And it appears if you don't have you have at least a situationship, let's say that. At worst, a relationship. Which is now very, very bad for me. Because I'm a psychic medium and because I know the things that I know. And then I come into this awareness, oh, M is really Hannah Montana. The M in his name stands for Mon fucking Tana because he lives a double life. I'm looking at his boss. I'm looking at the boss's personality. I'm looking at the business practices. I'm looking at the lack of integrity all around the clock. I'm all around the clock, all around like the whole everything. I'm getting a great, beautiful understanding of everything. Everything that I thought that I saw in the picture from the holiday Hoobly Wuddy has been confirmed in one way or another. We're now just getting a full picture of what the fuck has been going on. It might not be a complete picture, but the picture is full enough. The pictures that I see of him, not just, it's not every single one is him with another woman, but of just him in like, at like work events or out of office work events, whatever. I'm getting an understanding of who he is as a person. I'm getting an understanding of his character. I'm getting an understanding of his motherfucking character. Immediately, ick. And I don't mean, it's so funny because it's my fear. My fear was like, what if I connect with this guy and it turns out that he's not who I think he is? Ooh, bitch. I was right. Do I have a belief that there is a part of him and a side of him that I would have loved to connect with? Of course. There's so much of what feels like an energetic line of communication that has gone on between us that I really have felt such a deep connection with him and with his spirits and all of this stuff. But when I realize, it's not even like I want to say, this is who you truly are. It's just like, This is who you're pretending to be in the world? This is who you're pretending to be? This is how you're showing up in the world? This is how you want people to portray you? It's a facade and it's fake, and it's very obviously fake to me. But I can see fake shit and I can see real shit. Hello. And so I'm looking at this and I'm just like, oh my God, like, I'm not even surprised about the thing with the woman, but now my perception is just completely changed, because how could you be in a relationship with someone but also thinking about me at the same time? It's different if you're with someone, you've been hooking up for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, you invite them to a holiday hoobly wuddy. It didn't feel like it was a big pressure event. The picture, it's like his mom wasn't there. You know what I mean? It wasn't like huge family thing. It was just me and my cousins and girlfriends, you know what I mean? Or wives or whatever. So it didn't feel like this huge significant fucking thing, even though it felt, you know, it obviously pained me and created all of this like contrast within me and helped me to see things differently. I didn't think of it as that big of a deal. I didn't like the idea of him being with another woman and thinking about me at the same time, but I was just like, okay, like I can kind of understand how that could have happened. But the idea and concept for you to be consistently with another woman and thinking about me, and the diva is praying for you, and the diva is, I thought that we were doing one thing, he was doing something completely fucking different. He was having his cake and he was eating it too, bitch. I said, oh, okay. Oh, okay, perfect. This is so good. Good for you. So I walked away from the connection because I'm no longer attracted to him. There was no forcing. There was no, this is what you should do. There was no, oh, this is what a woman with self-worth does. I'm not attracted to you. I'm a woman with self-worth. I don't have to pretend. It's something that I embody. It's something that I operate out of. And that doesn't look like me saying, I'm not allowed to be treated in this way, even though there's a whole podcast episode on that. And I'm not saying that that's bad, but it feels different for me now, especially as I've been doing so much self-worth work. Ironically enough, or not ironically enough, is totally in alignment. Self-worth, it's just like, I looked at him and said, oh, this is somebody who is just opposed to me. Like, the way that you operate, your level of integrity, your level of character. Oh my God. I don't know who this fake ass nigga is. And it's like a really great fucking costume, really wonderful masquerade. This performance that you're putting on, convincing to the untrained eye, I guess. But I actually find it to be lame. I actually find it to be insulting. Instead of doing the work that you so obviously need to be doing to create actual fucking progress, you're cutting corners. You're a man who cuts corners. You're a man who would rather put on a costume and pretend just for the job that you want, not the job that you have, instead of doing the actual work to boost up your self-esteem. You're a man that would rather have a pretty woman next to you who, in the words of Kendrick Lamar, looks good, but she ain't got no taste. Oh, I mean that in a million and one different ways, but let's not go there. We've already talked about that in a previous episode. You would rather have a woman that looks good. Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes. That's all I have to say. You mean to tell me you're a fucking Patrick Mahomes? You're a Patrick Mahomes? You're okay and you're satisfied living a life that looks beautiful but feels like shit? And I know that it feels like shit because I feel your energy and I feel your vibe and I'm psychic. I know for a fact that you do not feel as good as you look. And in my eyes, saying that you look good is, eh. And I don't mean that he's unattractive, but it's so funny. Like, I can look at him at different pictures. And when he is not being his authentic self, he just doesn't look attractive to me. Same guy. But there's certain pictures or certain moments in his life where I'm like, oh my God, there's my guy. And sometimes I can see a picture of him and I just like involuntarily start like laughing. Not laughing like laughing at him, but laughing like he is so adorable. Sometimes I can see a picture of him and I can just see this guy who's like such a sweetheart. And I'm looking at these pictures and I just see this man who's trying so fucking hard. And it really just looks lame to me. And I'm really just not attracted to him. And also, how dare you allow me to be under the impression? Of course, he knew for a fact that I did not know about anybody else. I was having moments where I was like, you know what? Fuck this connection. He's just going to go get with some easy woman who it's easy to be with. I didn't know that the easy woman that it was easy to be with was already in the picture and he was already also with her. That I did not know. That was a surprise. Never let your enemy know your next move. Good for you, King. He played a very stupid fucking game with me and won a very stupid fucking prize. So I'm looking at the pictures, I'm comparing timelines, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that. Oh, motherfucker. The evidence against this nigga is incriminating. Dead giveaway. The man got away, leaving behind evidence. So dumb, so dumb, so dumb. So they're climbing in your windows. They're snatching your people up. Trying to trick them. So y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wives, and hide your husbands. Because they manipulating and lying by omission to everybody out here. You don't need to come and confess. We're looking for you. We gonna find you. We gonna find you so you can run and tell that. Anyway, I haven't been giving you guys like play by plays. Like, sure, I've been talking about the things that I'm like shifting and like all of this stuff, but only in the recent months have I been giving you like, so this happened and then this happened and then this happened. So fucking now, you don't understand how crazy all of this shit is to have come out. I've always had an experience with M where, yes, I'm receiving information and finding out things about him and learning things about him. There's something about this man that is constant. I'm constantly receiving information and insights about him. And I'm not just talking about psychically. I'm talking about this story where I stumble into information, but never like this. Never incriminating shit. Throughout the entire duration. Never had that experience, except for one time when I saw a pic of him that was very old, like from before I knew of him consciously. And he was in Mexico and he was taking a picture with a woman, and his hand was wrapped around her arm, and I was pretending to be jealous of it. And I'm like, oh my God, is this now, knowing what I know, knowing his fucking MO, I mean, maybe they did have sex, you know what I'm saying? But that's not the point. Other than that, like, no fucking signs. No inclinations, bitch. So it's the holiday hoobly wedding. The truth is coming out. In the words of Kendrick Lamar, it was God's plan to show y'all the liar. And why do you think it was God's motherfucking plan, bitch? Because I'm looking at these pictures and I'm collecting my data and I'm learning my things and I'm understanding what's going on, and I'm understanding the work culture that he's in, and I'm understanding the way that people, work and the way that people behave, and I'm understanding the energy, and there's it's shady shit. And I don't mean shady like illegal shit. I just mean shady like the hyper masculine stereotypical bullshit shit that you would assume would be happening in the world of like finance and like all of this stuff. But I don't know, I just never thought about him in that way. I never thought about him and applied stereotypes to him. I thought about him as a fucking human being. Come to find out, you're walking around a motherfucking stereotypical goddamn character. I'm sitting here wanting to understand and connect with the real, genuine, authentic you, and you're walking around just being a fucking reflection of, I guess, who you're expected to be in the world. You do one thing, you step into that fucking persona. You play football in college and in high school, so you get your ears pierced so that you can look like a black football player from the 99 in the early fucking 2000s. Then you grow up and you get a career in finance, and so then you clean up your image, and all you do is wear button-downs every fucking wear, apparently. In a relationship with me, that would have changed, but this is not time for that. This is not time for that. You're a fucking character. Willingly. It's sad to me. And it just created this disinterest. You want to be committed to the bullshit? Fine. I'm not going to have an experience where I'm questioning whether or not you're going to be with somebody else, you're going to marry someone else, you're going to get engaged to someone else, you're going to blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to have an experience in my life where I'm wondering and questioning, am I going to go to his Facebook and see him engaged today? That's fucking insane. At no point during any of this did I think that he was anything other than single. Did I think that he was single with the willingness to mingle? Yes. Did I like that? No. But did I have an acceptance of that? Yes. You being in a situationship that is at least a year old? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And I'm thinking that it's one thing, and I'm giving an away. Like, no. Bullshit. 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 So we had to pull the plug immediately. It was dead for me. And it wasn't something that was like a switch that had flipped. It was just over fucking time. Since probably September-ish, since November for sure. Things felt like they were getting better in November. Then December, I found out about the holiday hoobly wuddy that happens in November. And then I'm trying to figure it out. Let's all move forward. Now we're here at the end of February. Come to find out, You're just fake and phony. I'm not attracted to that. I'm attracted to men who have strong character and integrity. There's certain shit that I can look past. I have Venus in fucking Aries. I really don't give a damn. I stare at a man for too long and I might fall in love with him. And that's not a motherfucking crime. Girl like me don't stay single for long. Because every time a boyfriend and I break up, my world is crushed and I'm all alone. And the love bug crawls right back up and bites me. And I'm back. Can't help it. The girl can't help it. Like, I'm not upset with that and I'm not angry with that. And I don't know. It's like shit. There's shit that I could have gotten over. Like, okay, whatever. But that Capricorn moon in me, your character and your integrity, not being up to code. Oh no, baby, I don't have anything for you. I don't have anything for you. So I'm finding out all of this. I'm realizing this shit is done. I wake up the next day and I go to text my friend. She's a Scorpio. And I'm like, oh my God, we have to FaceTime ASAP. You're never going to believe what the fuck I found out last night. She's telling me, okay, I think I'm going to be available this weekend, maybe Tuesday at the latest of next week. I'm like, oh my God, like, girl, I got to talk about it now. I'm like, you're never going to believe the bullshit that I just found out. I just found out that such and such person is apparently in a relationship, situationship, I saw this picture. I had to catch her up. Long story short, I saw a picture of him at the holiday hoobly wuddy. Then it turns out, she's like, oh my fucking God, this shit is crazy. So we're talking about it and we're going back and forth via text message. And we're talking about everything. And then, of course, we start talking about the holiday hoobly wuddy and all the stuff. I'm like, let me show you this fucking picture. I don't remember what we're talking about. I think I'm talking about, I don't know. At some point, I start talking about his ugly fucking shirt. Like, oh my God, that's the karma. The karma is you're going to dress like that for the rest of your fucking life. Baby, if you like it, I love it. If you like it, I love it. If you see pictures of you and that woman together and you think to yourself, this shit looks good, this shit looks hot, this is the best that I fucking got, baby, I love that for you. I love that shit for you. I love that shit for you. At some time, at some place, he said that he was into fashion. The lie detector test determined that was a lie. He might have an appreciation for aesthetics with those motherfucking Libra placements. That man is not into fashion because nobody into fashion would have put that outfit on, and nobody who was in a relationship with a woman who was into fashion in any way, shape, or form would have you outside of the house looking like that. I'm thinking every single time I see a new picture of this man, I'm thinking, God bless his heart. He needs me. He doesn't have a woman in his life. He's not being loved, and that's why he keeps putting these fuck ass outfits together. I'm holding him with kindness and compassion in my heart. Whole time he does have a woman in his life. She just doesn't fucking love him. Wow. And that's another conversation for another time. But what I will say is this. I believe that how a man is dressed and how a man looks and how a man presents himself is a reflection of how much the woman that he is with loves him. Like, there's a picture of the two of them. They're at, like, let's say it's a gala, and they're taking the picture. His fucking bow tie is crooked. Like a fucking crazy level of crooked. That's insane. I would never let my man outside of the house, let alone taking a picture. Evidence? And his bow tie is crooked? I mean, I'm sorry. And can I relish? I did laugh. I laughed at many things. I have many jokes. I have many motherfucking jokes. I really got a lot of kicks out of the fashion of it all. It was one of those things where I'm like, if this is what you fucking like, if this is your idea, if you feel fucking cash money, you feel so fucking sexy, you feel like a motherfucking badass, because you went to Columbia, you got your degree, and you know every motherfucking thing, go ahead then. Go ahead then, baby. Can't nobody tell you shit. I know that's right. I know that's right. With me, would have been a little bit different. Obviously. For the better. Because he wouldn't wear that ugly ass shirt outside with me. And his bow tie wouldn't have been crooked. But oh well. I love that for him. A lifetime of crooked fucking bows. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about the bow in and of itself, even though visually it is about the bow. It's about the care and the attention to detail that you give to people that you love. It's about being in love with people and seeing the places that they need help and support and being willing to step in and fill in the gaps. This motherfucker has a fashion problem. Because he's not going to marry nephews, he's going to have to buy a fucking stylist. I mean, he's going to have to hire a fucking stylist. You need to keep a stylist on that motherfucking payroll. I'm telling you that right now. Because why are you wearing that outfit to that event? Like, I'm not even just talking about pictures with him and the woman. I'm talking about pictures over the past several fucking years. Why are you wearing this outfit? And I don't like those shoes. Oh, I had many, many notes. I had plans for this man, not just plans to get married and have babies. Like those are normal girly plans. I had Capricorn moon, Venus and Aries in the sixth house motherfucking plans. I had business plans. I had multi-million-dollar plans. Bitch, I had billion-dollar plans for this nigga. Like, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I have a Pinterest board of different outfits and the aesthetics and vibes for him, just as I have a Pinterest board for outfits and aesthetics for myself. Not to mold him into who I think he should be, but clothes and styles and silhouettes that are flattering to his body, which is a work of art. And also a reflection of who he is on a soul level. But no, he would rather look like he was under the motherfucking gray spell from Halloween Town. I'm not crying. I am laughing. But he didn't want to marry me. He didn't want to commit to me. He wanted Burger King, where he could have it his way. And when I think about that, I do feel like Drew Barrymore outside in the fucking rain. Because you know what? Yeah. You damn right. I love that. I've been doing that a lot lately. You are so fucking right. You're right and I'm wrong. I'm not pushing back. You're right. Everything you do is right. I'm wrong. Every choice and decision you make is the best choice and decision, even though you look completely out of place here, which is obviously a reflection of how you feel. Come on, darling. But if you like it, I love it. I love it so motherfucking bad. Good for you. Good for you. Absolutely. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead. Get down. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead. Get down. I hope so. I hope he's paying her. I hope she's getting money. Like, I really hope that she's getting something lucrative out of that deal. Just the coach in me. The coach in me. I'm like, I hope. Because if a man had me dressed like this to meet his family in Miami, that's a goddamn shame. It looks like I thought that they hadn't met each other. I thought that they had just fucking met. You mean to tell me I know you, and you know me? I thought that it was maybe even possibly a random thing. Like, what are you doing next week? You don't have plans for Thanksgiving? Come with me. Let's take a little trip. Or even, hey, we're in Miami. Turns out my family wants to go do this thing. Let's go to dinner really quick. She's like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to wear. That's what I thought happened to me. That's what it looks like. Can I say that? I'm not a hater. If it looked good, you know that I would say that it looked good. Her makeup is gorgeous. I'm not a fucking hater. I'm telling the truth. Literally. She's fucking straight size. This is before Saks filed for bankruptcy. Darling, you should have been in Saks. What the fuck are you talking about right now? What are you getting from this nigga? Anyway, because that outfit, girl, God, angels, universe somehow delivered this message to this woman. She needs to be extracting more money from that NIGGA. She needs to be extracting more. She needs to be taking shopping. She needs some more autonomy. Free her. Free her. Because she doesn't have bad fashion taste. Maybe she's just never met black people before. And so she didn't know what to wear. But that's. Excuse me. Where am I in my story? Where am I in my story? I've gotten off track. Gotten off track. Where am I in my story? I see the pictures. Straw meets Camel's back. It's too much for me. His character, his integrity. It is confirmed. Oh, you don't just so happen to be surrounded by weirdo motherfuckers. You dabble in weirdo motherfucking behavior. And you know I'm from California. You know that means something. I am calling you a fucking weirdo. Because that was some weirdo bullshit. Really. So, I realized this. We're letting this go. We're moving on. It's just done. I always listen to myself and I always listen to my desire. And as long as I have felt the desire and as long as it has felt right to engage in this and to move towards a relationship with him and to hold that vision of hope and to hold that vision of what I perceive to be his highest self and his greatest self and what I perceive to be his highest timeline, there's emphasis on my perception. Because maybe he is living his perception of his highest fucking timeline. And if that's the best that he thinks that he can get in life, just because it's fucking money, and just because it looks aesthetically good and aesthetically pleasing, if he thinks that that's the best that he can get, that he can have, if he thinks that that's what he's worth, more power to him. And I mean that. Whatever. I had a different dream. I had a different vision. I had a different perception. My vision was much more grand. My vision was philanthropic in a genuine and authentic way. My vision involved saving the planet and, of course, generating billions and billions and billions of dollars of profits, but also money donated and invested back into the motherfucking community. I mean, none of this is going away. I'm doing everything that I set out to do because I was always going to do that. That's just how I am. I just thought that this motherfucker wanted to be along for the ride. So I realized, okay, he is not who I have thought that he is. There's two sides of him. Jekyll and Hyde. I'm not fucking doing this. I'm just not available for it. And I can have compassion for it and all of those things. I'm not turned on. I'm not excited. I'm not attracted. There's nothing about a man in a relationship that appeals to me in any way. There's nothing about he's gonna da 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 da. Oh no, baby. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. This is my stop. This is where I get off. We circle back to the motherfucking dream. I don't have my passport. I can't go. It's so unfortunate. I don't have what I need. I can't take that trip with you. I can't continue this journey with you. I can't go any forward with you because I actually have shit to do and I actually take my life so seriously and I actually take my emotional fulfillment so motherfucking seriously. Like I care about this shit. And all of the times and the moments that I was there and I felt patient. I was simultaneously doing my own healing work and going deeper in my self love work and healing my relationship with men. And so it hasn't really felt like there was a stagnant energy, and it hasn't really felt like I was waiting for him, but there was a certain level consciously of patience, of me being like, okay, he's getting his shit together. He's figuring things out. He's navigating tower moments and da 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 da. Saturn just moved into Aries. He's now officially going through his Saturn return. I thought that I was going to be his Saturn return gift. He's done the work. He's shown up. And now we're together and the universe is blessing everyone abundantly. And then his Saturn return finishes, my Saturn return begins, and everybody is just being fucking blessed abundantly, because that's what happens with Saturn. You do the motherfucking work. You will reap those goddamn rewards. Imagine my surprise when I learn his Saturn return is he's going to have to lose me. Wow. His Saturn return is, it's so fucking crazy that you really thought that there wouldn't be consequences to your actions. I don't know if he thought that the consequences to his actions would be that I would be mad for a time, but then I would be over it. Or my nightmare is that he thought that he would be able to do his dirt and that I would be forgiving and all of these things and I would be okay with it and da 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 da. I think that that's like his best case scenario. His best case scenario is I don't give a damn. I think the woman that he's with doesn't give a damn, obviously, right? I ain't saying she a gold digger. She is most definitely not messing with no broke nigga. And that's not a crime, right? But is it a genuine, authentic thing? Well, I've done a podcast episode on it already. Did I know that I was doing a podcast episode on it? No, I didn't. But I talked about the truth about manifesting wealthy men. And I talked about a very specific kind of woman. Turns out I was talking about her in the podcast episode, but I did not know, and I did not know that she existed at the time. I'm just a fucking psychic medium. Matthews, how do you know that you're a psychic medium? Well, the day of the holiday Hubli wedding, Thanksgiving of 2025, I felt inspired to do a pick a card tarot reading on what would it be like to meet his family? I did not find out that he had an experience of bringing another woman to meet his family until December of 2025. So the night that the holiday Hubli wedding was happening, I'm so tuned in, turned on. I said, oh my God, that would be such a great reading topic. I don't believe that there's irony, and there's a magical thing that's about to happen later in the story. Let's get back to it. So I see the pictures, I realize things about just his character and where he is and the level of the work that he has to do. And it appears to be his lack of willingness to do that work. Brother, if you are so fucking committed to not changing, if that is the hill, that's the hill that you want to die on. That's the woman that you want to die with. Baby, if you like it, I love it. Go ahead. Go ahead now. Go ahead. Get down. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead, get down. I fucking love it. Oh, I fucking love it. With me, things would have been creative. They would have been innovative. They would have been fun. They would have been exciting. They would have been incredibly stable. They would have been magical. Amazing outfits would have been one small aspect of it. The money would have been one small aspect of it. There were multiple streams of incomes that were going to come into his life just as a consequence of being my fucking partner, not just through this business that I have, but through the other ways that I am branching off creatively and in the entertainment world. But that's okay, because you don't need me. You don't need me. You don't need me. You have people who would throw you under the bus the minute that it benefited them. You have people who say that they are your friends, but just as long as they can get money and opportunity and prestige and all of those things off of you. You've got a beautiful life, Patrick Mahomes. And it's full of fake ass bitches and fake ass shit. Look at you in your beautiful castle that is completely vacant. You like that? You love that? Good Good for you. I love it for you. Could never be me. It is actually my nightmare. And I will not be joining you in that nightmare, and you seem hell-bent on living that nightmare. This is where we must part. Literally. That's literally how I feel. I haven't even cried, you guys. Swear to God. You know I would tell you if I did. Haven't even fucking cried. It was just like, yep, that'll do it. That's what I needed. That's what I needed to know. That's what I needed to understand. I see exactly where you are. I see exactly how you have been operating. We are not as compatible as I thought that we once were. I'm over it. I'm done. Goodbye. And that's that on that. And it's literally the dream. And there's so many different layers to the dream, and there's so many different interpretations of the dream. But one interpretation that I will share is that idea and concept of you are too loved. I spent this entire dream trying to get to him. I had people showing up, loving me, taking care of me, supporting me to help me get to him. But I could never get close to him. I wasn't even able to have a full conversation with him in the dream. And the only communication did not come from him. It came from his best friend, who told me, you are too loved. Do you ever have an experience that you start saying some spiritual bullshit that you ain't never said before in your life? I saw that shit. I said, oh, so rejection is protection. Won't he do it? Won't he fucking do it? I saw that shit. I said, oh, so the reason why we haven't been fucking coming together is because I'm protected and because I'm loved and because I would actually be being put through hell. Oh. And sometimes you just gotta give him praise. Sometimes you just gotta give him thanks. The ancestors might not ever tell me no, rarely, but they're still gonna protect that baby. I know that's right. I know that's right. And as for his ancestors, I still have nothing but love for them, which is weird. I've never had an experience like that. It's not like we'll talk. It's not like we'll connect. It's not like we will ever have a relationship or anything like that. And the relationship dynamic will probably change as the loving feelings or lustful feelings that he has towards me eventually turn into hatred and bitterness and resentment and projections of all of these other different things. So maybe that relationship dynamic would have naturally changed, but I don't think so. I actually feel like his ancestors like me so much. They're like, listen, Diva, you ever have that dynamic where you're dealing with a guy and one of his members of his family are like, listen, girl. That's a Beyonce song. I think it's Me, Myself, and I, where she's like, even your friends told me. They're like, listen, Diva, love you so much. You're actually the fan favorite. Wish that it would have worked out for you. But you do need to see this before you forgive and move forward. You do actually need to see it. You actually do need to know this. And I really appreciated that. So everybody came together. I received the information that I need to receive. I literally have I'm like, I've seen everything that I need to see. Okay. I can make my choice and decision and we can be out of here, right? I wake up the next day, I text my homegirl, we're going back and forth. I go to send her the picture from the holiday Hubli wedding because I'm like, no, you have to see this and you have to analyze. Oh, I have comments about what she said about the picture, but we don't have time to talk about it, so we won't. Just know, she literally confirmed so many of the things. Like when I sent her the picture, I didn't say anything about the picture at all. The first comment that she made about the picture was, are his eyes closed? I said, exactly, bitch. That's what I said. Picture. Let's say there's 8 people in the picture, maybe 10, I can't remember. Every single person in that picture's eyes are open, except for this nigga's. Eyes closed. We don't have time to get into the analysis of it all. Anyway, I sent her the picture and then I'm like, no, but you have to see the difference in the body language from this picture and this picture from XYZ different time. Investigative journalism. So I go back to the motherfucking Instagram because I'm trying to look up the boss's Instagram so that I can take a screenshot, send it to my homegirl. Tell me why. I go to find the boss's Instagram. The boss's Instagram is private. Not even 12 hours later. No, I didn't like anything. I do this. You know I didn't like shit. I do this. I find out. Not even 12 hours fucking later. Fuck 24. Not even 12 hours later, that Instagram is private. That means, had I not had that conversation, had I not spilled that tea, had I not brought up that W man, had I not thought to myself, when is his birthday? Had I not gone to Instagram to look up his Instagram to see if maybe his birthday was on the Instagrams? Had I not thought to myself while I was already on Instagram, I should look him up? I would not have seen those fucking pictures, bitch. And that's how I know the blood still works. I'm recording this at 1:40 in the morning. I can't exclaim. I can't exclaim, but you know I want to give him praise. The blood still works. Oh my God. I know that nigga's mad. And by that nigga, I'm referring to him. Oh, I know he's fucking mad at that. Because I highly doubt that me finding that out was a part of his master plan. I feel like it was kind of his dream for that never to be found out, actually. So, anyway, now let's talk about karma. We talked about what happened, why it inspired me to leave. It's a conversation about his character and his integrity. It's the same conversation that we had about, is he a narcissist or is he just emotionally immature? I'm not trying to figure out, is he a good, well, yes, I am trying to figure out, is he a good person or a bad person? What I mean is, I'm trying to get an understanding about the content of his character. Is this a one-off situation? Is this a mistake? Is this a relapse? Oh no. This is the energy that you have been operating out of. Oh my God. Have you been operating out of this the entire time? It appears so, based on the evidence that has been presented to us. So I come to the conclusion, we're letting it go, moving on, and now, very quickly, we'll talk about karma. It's a 2-hour episode, but it's going to be the only episode for the week, so we're going to be okay. The karma is, you will never have me. You might win some, but you just lost one. Sometimes do I think about men from my past and do I wish them unwell? Yes. Sometimes do I think about men from my past and do I think about the concept of them having a bad time in life and do I smile to myself? Yes, but there's a neutrality. Mostly 9 times out of 10, there's a neutrality. Right now, I would definitely say there's a neutrality. I really don't think about men from my past very often, unless it's a podcast episode and it's relevant to the story or the reading or whatever. But 9 times out of 10, I'm moving throughout my day. I don't think about those niggas. I do not believe in feeding the animals at the zoo. No. They will keep coming back for more, okay? I think about him. And I think about the choices he's made and the life that he's chosen to create for himself. Fabulous. And it's at the expense of a life with me. Because now he will never have that. And that just feels appropriate. I saw the picture of him at the holiday Hoobly Wuddy and I said, I need to not have sex with this nigga until I'm married. I saw and got the understanding that he has the capacity to be completely engaged with someone or physically present with someone while also simultaneously thinking about someone else, simultaneously pining after someone else, simultaneously connecting with another person. I don't even know what the fuck happened with the 70 friends on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Is he cheating on the girl from the picture? At least emotionally, with me. Physically, I really feel like it's a strong possibility. And again, there's that character. It's not attractive to me. So it went from, oh, maybe it's a relapse to, oh, you are submerged in this. I don't see you changing. I don't expect you to change. I don't want to expect you to change. I don't want to ask you to change. I don't want to beg you to change. I don't want to hold the vision of you changing anymore, because who you currently are is not attractive to me in any way, shape, or form. Who you have been is not attractive to me at all. You made the choices that you made. You made your bed. And I truly believe it is best for everyone involved if you lay in that. You played a very stupid game with me, and I hope that you enjoy and relish in your stupid fucking prize. That's how I feel. And that's karma. I don't know. The girls aren't adjusting bow ties anymore. I don't know. I don't know. We're losing recipes, ladies. Black girlfriend effect. Maybe it falls under that category. But I don't think it does. I feel like that's a thing. Across demographics, is it not? I had plans and I had dreams and I had desires with him. It saddens me that it won't come into fruition, of course. But I just feel like, well, that's okay. I know I'm about to fucking glow up. 2026 changed from being my year of believing, even though it's still my year of believing, but now it's a fucking year of revenge. Like, I gotta boss up on this nigga. Like, I'm very excited, you guys. I'm very excited. It's about to be my birthday. I'm gonna take a trip for my motherfucking birthday. Bitch, it's lit. It's lit over here. I'm excited. I feel carefree. I've already cried about the guy. I've already shifted so much. I've already moved so much. I did not get emotionally invested after the holiday hoobly waddy. I really was kind of taking my time opening up and edging into that, pool again. But now, power of the pivot, oop, I'm going in the wrong direction. And so now it's time to turn this aircraft around. And that's the story, and that's the message. And the karma is, he'll never know how amazing life could have been with me. And like, yeah, sure, he has concepts. He has no idea of the plans that I had that felt so tangible and real and obvious and easeful and all of these things in my mind. He will never know that. And that feels like karma to me. You get to live in a beautiful castle and have a life that is not emotionally fulfilling. That feels like karma to me. You get to live the rest of your life with that sense of regret and that sense of what if, and knowing that you were given the opportunity to rise to the occasion and you didn't. You blew it. You fumbled. Like that podcast episode with Cam Newton and Natalie Nunn. What did you do with the Super Bowl? Why didn't you get it? You fumbled? That was your one shot. That was the biggest game. You fumbled? First one of one. Show me what you have. I don't care what you had. I don't complain. I just paid the tab. Me, I've been having it. Me, I've been stacking it. That's what karma feels like to me. It doesn't feel like wishing him ill. I don't really do a lot of wishing people ill just because it's bullshit energy. People are when people do you dirty and all of this stuff, Taylor Swift has a lyric, ironically enough, where she's basically like, your enemies will destroy themselves before you even get the chance. I don't believe in that. The way that you're behaving with me and the way that you're cutting corners and the way that you're doing this and the way that you're doing that is going to catch up to you. One of the ways that it has caught up to you is you have officially lost out on a woman who would have genuinely and authentically fucking loved you. And I don't just mean loved you in an emotional sense. I mean loved you in a way that would have made you significantly better. Can you imagine how many deals you're missing out on because of the energy and the vibration that you give off of and the outfits that you wear? Okay. There's so many little ways that his life would have been improved emotionally, physically, financially, sexually by having a relationship and a connection with me. Not having that, I believe, is karma. Not having the privilege of knowing me, of knowing what's alive within me, of knowing where I'm going, of knowing where I am. It's why my Instagram is private. It's why both of my Instagrams are private. It's why I'm not posting and sharing to my story. It's why I'm not telling you guys where I am or what I'm doing or behind the scenes or blah, blah, blah. Not just for him, but for everyone, because access to my energy is a privilege. I was actually not knowing what the hell I was doing and I was just giving it out. That's over now. Everybody doesn't get to access me. Everybody doesn't get to know what's alive within me. Everybody doesn't get to know what I'm doing. Everybody doesn't get to know what I'm planning. And that's just that on that. And it just feels like value. It just feels like what self-respect looks like for me at this point in my life. And if I decide to share in the future, then I decide to share in the future. But right now, this is what that looks like. And for me, that's karma. For me, karma is he has spent so much time receiving my love and receiving my support. You know, there was a moment at some point last year, I had a dream. And in my dream, a man came to me that I didn't know. And this man was like his uncle or like his goddad or something like that. Like, it was like his family member, but I didn't know who they were, but I knew like they were like related to him or like had like guardianship over him or something. Or like, you know what I mean? Like an ancestor, okay? Man that I don't know comes to me in a dream and says, M is in danger and like M needs help and M needs you to pray for him. Like, will you please pray for him? And after he says this to me, I wake up. I don't wake myself up. I just wake up in the middle of the night. And I'm like praying for this man. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's about to happen in his life. There are so many ways that I have given to him that I haven't talked about because I'm not doing it for show. I'm doing it in a way that's genuine and authentic. I'm doing it in a way that's in me. That's a privilege of being in my life. That's a privilege of being somebody that I love. You have somebody who is holding the vision of your success. You have somebody in your corner all the way across the sea. That's a lyric from Hamilton. And so as I call all of my energy back to me and I stop giving to him, we won't talk about him again. If some huge shift happens and I have something more to say on the matter, maybe we'll get a podcast episode on it. I mean, this is what I talk about, but this is it. Because he's reached dead to me status. And so we won't talk about him anymore and we won't bring him up anymore and we won't speak about him favorably anymore. He won't receive anything from me anymore. We won't mention him. I'm not going to share songs on my YouTube or Instagram story that relate to how I'm feeling about him or how I'm thinking about him. It's done. It's over. And so imagine that contrast. And I was thinking about this. Is it better to live your entire life not knowing that Disneyland existed? Or to have an experience like you don't know that Disneyland existed and so you never have the desire to go to Disneyland. You never feel like you're missing out because you never go to Disneyland. You don't know that it exists. But if you have a day, you go to Disneyland once and you ride the rides and you have good food and you have good memories, you have a great time at this amusement park. And then you get shut out of Disneyland completely and you are no longer allowed to go for the rest of your life. And you have to go through life knowing that Disneyland is real and knowing that Disneyland exists and knowing that you will never get access to it. As a part of me being a woman who has self-worth, I believe that I am an important, significant woman who matters and belongs, not just in relation to myself, but in relation to others. I believe that I am the kind of woman who blesses the people that I am around, not just with my perspective and my mindset shifts, but with my energy and my prayers and my positive intentions and just me being a genuinely and authentically good-hearted person and human being. That is valuable and it is very rare, especially for him and the people that he has chosen to surround himself with. So imagine knowing that there was a good-hearted woman who would have loved you and accepted you. And you chose to be stubborn and you chose to be unwilling to change and you were so committed, Burger King, to having it your way that you lost out on that relationship. And you never get to be with her and you never get to connect with her. And you don't marry her. No matter what happens. It's very unfortunate for him because I'm a global sensation and I'm a star. So this is the least famous that I'll ever be in my life. I will be on the billboards and I will be in the news and I will be every fucking where. Unfortunately for the men in my life who have been given the opportunity to show up and who have chosen not to. Like Lady Gaga said, there will come a time where you're not going to be able to go and buy a cup of fucking coffee without seeing my goddamn face. Mark my words. So, that's my karma. And that's his karma. I was always going to boss up. I was always going to glow up. I was always going to get married. I'm always going to have babies. That is my fucking purpose. That's what I was born for. I know God very intimately, and God has not forgotten about me. There is no doubt in my heart about whether or not I will be married or have a family. These things feel incredibly obvious to me. These things feel closer to me than they've ever been before. And do you know what happens in manifestation as you get closer and closer and closer to the vibration of your desire? You've got to clear out what no longer works. You've got to clear out what's no longer a vibrational match to the life that you're creating. Unfortunately, M is not a vibrational match to the life that I'm creating. The man that I want to be with, the husband, the father of my children, the way that he behaves and shows up in the world is opposed. So polar opposite to who this man chooses to be. Unfortunately. So that's where I am, and that's how I feel. And I know it was a long episode, so if you stayed all the way to the end or you paused it and came back, I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you could find the story entertaining in a way that's not weird. And hopefully it inspired you. And if you see yourself in this story some way, I don't want you to listen to it and say, I have to be like Nath Hughes and I have to do what she did and I have to walk away or I have to stay or whatever. What I would love for you to take from this is that I want you to trust yourself. Not make choices and decisions about whether or not the world is going to look at me as a dumb bitch, because I know for a fact I'm going to get my motherfucking ring, 6-carat oval cut diamond from Tiffany or better. I'm not picky. That husband is a motherfucking implication. If I can do all of the things that I have done in business and self-worth, I know how to turn a situation around. I know how to change my motherfucking life. And I know that I'm fat, favored, and fabulous. Fabulous. I believe that marriage is inevitable for me. I believe that motherhood is inevitable for me. And when I'm married and when I have children and when I'm doing all of these different things in the world, nobody's going to give a fuck about the time that M was a character of my life and somebody that I talked about on a podcast episode. Nobody's really going to give a shit. I'm in one of the courses for Amanda Francis, and she's talking, this is like from years and years ago, and she's talking about a guy that she's currently in a relationship with, and they're having a conversation about engagement, but she obviously didn't marry that guy. I don't know if they got engaged. I don't know what happened in the relationship, but she's currently engaged and planning her wedding to a man that she has 3 children with. They have 5 children together, 2 from a previous marriage of his, right? When I hear her talking about that guy and I hear her talking about that relationship and connection, I don't think she was so dumb for having hope. I don't think anything about it. I don't think anything about that guy. I don't think about where he is. He was a character in her story who is not fucking relevant. She's incredibly successful. She's on reality TV, which is a big dream of hers, and she's engaged. She's getting married. She has children. She has the things that she's wanted in the world, and it just keeps getting bigger. I'm not worried about who listened to my podcast episodes now or tomorrow and who judged me and who maybe thought that I was a dumb bitch or whatever. I don't care, because they're irrelevant, and this will just be a memory. This will just be a part of my story. This will just be a moment of time. It will not be the most relevant. We won't talk about it, right? Years and years and years ago, the things that happened to me at college and the things that happened to me on the incident, they were the biggest deals in the world. And we talked about them a lot, and there were videos made and posts and conversations and roasts that were conducted over that man from the incident. And today we refer to him as the incident. Rarely we talk about him when he's relevant. We move on very quickly. We do not feed that animal. And it is what it is. Unfortunately, M will just be that. And I believe that that is his karma. Because he could have been so much more. And I like that. That's how I feel. When I think about men and I think about relationships that don't work out because I feel that they're not showing up for me, I do feel good knowing that the amazing life that they could have had with me, they will not have. And I'm not saying they're going to have a bad life. I'm not saying it's always going to suck. I'm saying he'll never know that Pinterest board. I got a pair of trousers that are saved in my TikTok now. They will be unsaved, of course. He would have fucking killed it in those goddamn trousers. I'm telling you, he needs them. He needs a different fucking cut. But he'll never know. And I love that. He will never know that. He'll never know how I would have styled him. He would have loved it. It would have been amazing. There are concepts of it. There are ideas of it here and there. But I'll never know. And it feels like that's a part of that privilege. It would have been a privilege to know me on a deeper level. It would have been a privilege to know my heart. It would have been a privilege to know my mind. It would have been a privilege to know my ideas. It would have been a privilege to know my vision for your life. It would have been a privilege to know and understand how my taste would have powerfully evolved his wardrobe. He was going to be so sexy. He was going to be. He was going to be so fucking sexy, honestly. If I could say anything, I feel like he played his cards very wrong, obviously. But if he would have played those cards a little bit better, just like that girl from the Holiday Hooley wedding, he should have at least had me take him shopping, girl. Literally. When we got together in a relationship, I was gonna, those trousers were gonna be in the fucking mail on the way. I'm serious. You'll know I'm not playing. If I'm lying, I'm dying. I like that I get to gatekeep my version of what our future could have been. Knowing that he won't have that feels good to me. The way that I would have loved him, the things that he has received from me over all of this time, it's the tip of the iceberg in terms of my capacity to love. Has he been loved by me in a way? Yes. He still has no idea what it's like to really be loved by me. And that's his karma. Does that mean that he has to suffer over it? Does that mean he has to lose sleep? No, who's to say? If he does, I'd smile to myself. But I don't know. Everything doesn't have to be about he's suffering and he's having a terrible time. I mean, my karma feels like my win. My karma feels like his karma feels like my win. Those little moments and those little ways of seeing things that say, you know what? I'm satisfied with how I showed up. I'm satisfied with how I tried. I'm satisfied with who I was. I'm satisfied with what I was willing to give. I'm also satisfied with how I trusted myself because I fought myself. I was like, I don't know. Should I forgive him? I don't think I should forgive him. Of course you shouldn't forgive him. There's a whole other fucking woman and she ain't even know it. Like, you know what? Yeah. And the next time I think I shouldn't forgive a motherfucker, you bet I won't. You bet I won't. But I was trying to be woke. I was trying to be mature. I was trying a lot of things. That's okay. I forgive her and I love her. And I honor her. And I just see myself as having done everything that I could in the situation and not having anything more to give. So that's where I am. And I don't want to say not having anything more like, oh my God, he's drained my energy, but just, I don't have the desire to give anymore. I've actually got energy to pour into me. I've got energy to pour into my vision. All of the energy that was going towards him, the anger that I may feel towards him if more anger comes up, all of that shit is another fucking engine on my train. Baby, the momentum is building. 2026 is about to be my motherfucking year, bitch. Don't call it a comeback. Because now it is about revenge. Now it is about bossing up on a nigga. And I do love to do that. I haven't done that in a while. I haven't bossed up on a nigga in a while. So I'm very excited about that. In next week's episode, we're gonna have like how to boss up on a nigga. My plans, bossing up on a nigga in 2026. If you're not black, I mean, bossing up on a man. Okay? I love you and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Thanks for listening. Oh, if you want to check out one of my offers after this, I would suggest checking out my Love After Loss course. It's about processing heartache and heartbreak and opening up to love again and becoming a vibrational match to love. I'm not currently actively seeking a new partner. I'm taking a break. I'm pouring into myself. I'm getting my money up, not my funny up. And when I'm ready to pour back into my dating and relationships and focus on manifesting that husband again, I'll be going into Love After Loss and getting into those journal prompts and exercises and meditations in that final module. Okay, so if you want to get into that, I suggest you check it out. I love you so much, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye.